Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Queen, and you guys, in today's video I will be bringing you guys a nightlife Q&A. So you guys, as I had told you guys probably in like all my previous videos that I've been posting, I am currently doing a nightlife series. So this was a video that I thought would actually be helpful for anyone that's looking to get into nightlife, or even if you worked in nightlife before but maybe it's been a while and you just wanted to know, like, just like how it is, what to expect, or whatever the case may be. As well, you guys, I do like to always put out a disclaimer before the beginning of my videos. Is the things that I said in my videos are based off of my personal experience and my personal opinion, and everyone's experience and opinion may vary. But let's just get into the video. Basically, I went on Instagram and I asked questions like, if you had any questions about nightlife, like what would they be? And so a few people responded back as well, just on a daily basis. Like, I have people that I'm cool with or people that I meet that ask me all the time, like, how is it at my job? Like, how's nightlife? How is it working there? Like, is it worth it? So that's another reason why I felt like this video would be really good to make. So basically, I'm just going to go through the questions and I'm just going to just answer the questions for you guys, based off of like my personal experiences. All right. So the first question is the money good or is it hype? So great question. So basically, like, in my experiences with nightlife, it's usually always been like really good money. I think like I maybe can think of like one time that I worked in nightlife and the money wasn't that great. And that was probably when I was like living like in Orlando, and that was a couple years ago or whatever. And it wasn't that great. It was just like okay and decent. But other than that, any time that I've ever worked in nightlife, the money has been really good. At my current job, the money is really good. But what I will say in response to that question is just do your research, and basically do your research on like the club and just like know what the clientele is, because that also will basically, that has a big part basically of like how much money you'll make. So like just do your research before you decide to apply at a club, and don't just think just because you're working at any club that it's like guaranteed money. Okay? All right, number 2. How do like waitresses, bottle girls, bartenders get paid? Is it like hourly tips, and like how hourly or tips or both, or how much? Okay, so this kind of varies or whatever from like state to state. So basically where I'm currently located and all the places that I pretty much lived has kind of been the same. Like basically you get paid like server, waitress, minimum wage, and that varies from state to state. So currently in the state that I'm in, it's like $2.13 an hour, but like when you're doing this, you don't care about that check. Like you really, honestly, you just don't care about that check because it doesn't matter. And I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm used to like not relying on the paycheck and just like straight hustle, and that works for me. It's not for everybody, but it works for me. It really does. And what I will say is like basically most places do it like you'll have the waitress, bartender, which is going to be the same minimum wage. It's not like regular minimum wage for a regular job. It's like a separate kind of minimum wage. Like I said, for the state I'm in right now, it's $2.13 an hour plus whatever tips you make. But you're going to make your money off your tips. Like, and the tips are gonna outweigh like even thinking about that paycheck. Like you don't even care. Like I get paychecks on my job and I don't even care about them, because most of the time it's going to be $0, and then sometimes it's going to be like a little bit of money on there, which is rare, but when it is, it's like gas money, or it's just like you just deposit it into your banking account and just forget about it. Like that's what you do with that. So that's what I'll say about that. But everywhere is different, but most of the time I've lived in like a lot of different cities or whatever in states, and I will say most of the time that's how it works. But the minimum wage for bartenders and servers it varies. It just depends on what state you're in, because different states have different rates set. Because I know like Florida's different. I want to say Florida's like 4 or 5 something an hour. I forgot, but when I worked there, it was like that. It was like that. So it's just different depending on where you live. Number 3 question is being pretty and having a nice body all you need to make money? So, okay. everyone knows that, you know, working in nightlife, of course, it is like a lot about your image, of how you present yourself, how you show up, like hair, makeup, nails, all of that. That stuff does play a part. You know, if you're like, you know, your shape and everything is all like put together, whatever the case may be, or whatever, you know. But what I will say is, just from what I see and from what I like experience, I do not feel like just being pretty with a nice body is everything. Like, even if someone sees you and they're like, wow, I want her to be like my waitress, or I'm gonna go sit at her bar, because they physically see you. If your attitude sucks, or you still can't do your job, you can't make a drink, or you're just not good at your job and there's no personality, you still probably won't make money. I mean, sometimes, I mean, you can look up and you could just have no personality and someone just will just give you money anyway. But a lot of times, personality and being good at what you do still plays a big part in if you make money. So I don't feel like looks are just everything. It's a mindset, it's a hustle, it's personality. I feel like it's like a combination. Number 4, what's the peak time for making money in a nightclub? So I guess by peak time, the person was meaning like season, like what's the best season to work in nightlife. And once again, that varies from state to state. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like where I work now, in the state that I work in and the specific kind of club I work in, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like fall and winter is our peak season where we'll make the most money. Spring and summer is when it kind of slows down because people are doing outdoor things and going on vacations and doing other things. Especially where I work now, because of the type of clientele we have there, it's like they have money. So it's like they're like on vacations during the summer, they're going places. They don't really want to be like at home really, and they just have a lot going on. But I will say that also varies once again from state to state. It's crazy because I know when I lived in Florida, like everywhere else in the world, like when it's like winter, that's when Florida like flourishes like in nightlife, because like everybody comes to Florida, you know, fall and winter to like party, go out and go on vacation. So that's when they make the most money. And then in the summertime, they kind of slow down, you know. But I will say like, even their slow season is probably better than a lot of like, you know, other people's like regular season, but it just all depends or whatever as well. So that's what I would say. The peak time or the best time just depends on your location and where you are, or also what type of club you're working in. Number 5 is there a lot of drama because of the environment? So what I will say is, you know, I feel like in any like, you know, club atmosphere, whatever, it's always probably going to be bound to be some drama. Now, the thing is, if you choose to be a part of it or not. I know with me, I go to work, I'm about my money. I'm about positive vibes. Whatever I have going on outside of work, I leave it outside the door. I try to, at least anyways. And I don't go to work for drama. And I kind of honestly, like, I try to be nice to everybody, but I kind of like try to just stay to myself and just focus on the money. Like, you know, of course there are people like, you know, that you're going to work with, you're going to talk to more than others and stuff like that. But I just say that it all depends on you. Like, of course, sometimes you can't help it. Things get a little bit dramatic, but at the same time or whatever, it's all about how you carry it. And if you want to keep yourself away from it, then you'll keep yourself away from it and put the money first. And that's what I will say about that. Number 6, do you think anyone can work in nightlife? Okay. I think that it's not for everybody. I'm going to be honest. I feel like it's very cutthroat. You need to have tough skin. You also have to have the mindset of like a hustler, like, because it's like, even though we're still going to a building or whatever to work, it's still kind of like how much money you make is really up to you. The mindset of like, okay, this is what I'm going to do and this is how much I'm going to make or whatever. Because like a lot of people think that this is like easy, but you're dealing with different personalities. You have to hustle because you're not relying on a paycheck. So you're really relying on tips. So that lifestyle just isn't for everybody. Just like for me, corporate America, the whole desk thing, that isn't for me. Like those like jobs like that personally isn't for me. But I personally do better in these type of environments versus that. But for other people, it could be vice versa. So I definitely don't think that this is that for everybody. It's just not. I know like social media, like Instagram hypes it up and makes it look easy, like, oh, whatever, but it's really not. So it's not hard, but it's just that you have to be a certain type of person and have a certain type of personality and have tough skin to do it. It's also like, you know, it's just a lot. You know, it could be a lot sometimes. You know, it could be fun sometimes too, but it's just a lot, and I don't think that it is for everybody. All right, number 7. Should you work at a club for a long time, or should you switch clubs, and how long is too long? All right, so to answer that question, what I would say is this. Most of the time, because in my experiences with this, like I said, I've been doing this for a while, I would say that most clubs don't even last long. Like, even if the building is still there, the name switches up. And I know that from city to city. It doesn't matter where you go. Sometimes there'll be clubs or whatever that do last a long time and they'll be there forever, but it's really rare, especially when it's just a regular nightlife club. Like gentlemen's clubs and stuff like that are a little bit different, but when it's like a regular club or whatever, then that's usually like a club that's going to change names. Even if it's that building, the name changes. And so, like, I mean, honestly, I just feel like it's up to you. And if the money's good and you have a goal set and you're comfortable there and you feel like you're getting the job done or what you need to get done, then I say no, it's not too long. But honestly, most of the time, regular clubs, they are not going to be there a long time anyway. I don't know what it is, but they just always have, like, it just always, like, it's a turnover rate. It's like it's there a year, 2 years, maybe 3, and then boom, it's named something else, a new owner, that type of situation. So, I mean, honestly, and if it is a club that you've been at and you're working there and the money's good and it's helping you get done what you have to do and helping you accomplish your goals, then if you feel like it works for you, then it works for you. All right. So, next question, number 8. How do you set yourself apart to make more money? Okay, great question. So, you know, everybody has their own thing. Everybody has their way of hustle. I know for me, or whatever, just because I'm not stupid, I'm not crazy, I'm gonna come in like on point. I always make sure like my makeup, my hair, everything is like, you know, I'm together. But also, like I said in the beginning of the video, like I like to put everything that's going on in my personal life that may be not right, or the bad mood I might be in, or the fact that I'm like super exhausted because I'm always on go. I leave all of that at the door. Like I try my best to go in with the most positive, optimistic mindset. Like that's what I do. And when you do that or whatever, it's like, you know, customers see that and they're like, damn, you know, she's always in a good mood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wow, like she's always like, you know, woo, like, you know, or like if you're their bottle girl or you're their bartender, they know like when they're with you, it's like you're the party. Like it's like, oh, a good time. Like it's always a good time, and it's gonna make them, you know, want to come back and see you. And then the more they come back and see you, like the more money you make. Like it's just like that. So like it's like for me, it's the mindset and the attitude that sets you apart. Like, yeah, you could be pretty and all of this, but if you don't have that mindset and you don't have that good attitude, honestly, for me, I feel like my personality sets me apart. And that's just what I'll say on that. But everything works differently for other people. But I do feel like that's a big factor. All right. Number 9, is it hard dating while working in nightlife? Woo! Let me tell you. So what I will say is like dating and you work at nightlife, it just be, especially because of Instagram, because Instagram has it where they think that this is just something that everybody wants to do and it's so cliche and oh my God, you're just doing this for attention, blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, like I don't do this for attention. I do this for the money, period. I make good money doing this and that's why I do it. It don't have anything to do with attention. When I go to work, I'm not going to work to like get people's numbers and stuff like that. And where I work or whatever, we have like a lot of like athletes and all types of stuff coming through there or whatever. And I don't care. Like, it's like if you end up being cool, you end up being cool. But I'm not there looking for a boyfriend or anything like that there in those doors. Like, I'm really not. It's just strictly about the money, making my money. And that's it. But you'll have these guys that you'll try to date or whatever, like, you know, and they're like, oh, where do you work? Or what do you do? And it's automatically like judgment. So I feel like if you're not in my opinion, if the person or whatever doesn't understand that it's just a job and you're just there to make your money, and he doesn't have that understanding with you, then more than likely it's not going to work. And it is really hard to find guys that understand that. Like, so it is difficult. And like myself, I know like a lot of other people that work in nightlife, they're like, I mean, not saying everyone, but there are a lot of people that are just single, because like a lot of guys, they can't handle it. But it's not even that serious, to be honest. It's just like any other job, but you know, people will feel how people will feel about things. All right, guys. So last but not least, number 10, should you make friends like in the club, like your coworkers and stuff? Should they be your friends? I'm gonna be honest, I feel like that's an individual's choice. For me, I feel like, you know, you can have like select people like that you're really cool with, but I feel like just keeping it cordial and cute is good. Like, because like I just don't like drama. Like, I hate drama. And I feel like also on top of drama, hating drama, I don't want drama mixed with where I make my money. I don't want that. I don't want that, because even if you have like the mindset of like, oh, I'm about my money, and like say if you're like hanging with somebody that you work with and something goes wrong with y'all, just because you might be able to go to work and get through it and be professional and still get to the bag, that other person may not. And you don't want anybody ruining like your money and your livelihood or whatever over anything stupid. So I mean, I'm not saying you can't find a real friend or have real friends in your club that you work at. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I've been doing this for a while, and I just know that it usually is always like some drama. So it's like, just be selective. That's all I'll say or whatever. Because I know like I could have a friend that I work with in the club, but I just would be very selective about it, because you just don't want your money being messed up behind outside drama that people may bring back into work because y'all hang out outside of work. That's all I'm saying. So just be selective. So you guys, that's about it for this video. I really hope, you know, you guys really enjoyed this video. If you guys have any video suggestions, or if you have any questions about nightlife, or any videos you want to see, you know, about nightlife, you know, leave it down below in the comments or whatever. And like I said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, guys. Bye.